On Bishop Barra's YouTube channel, you will find exclusive content to uplift your faith. The Word of Faith with Bishop Macedo. Live meetings from Bishop Barra Fonseca. Testimonies, thoughtful advice, prayers, and much more. Do you like it? Then subscribe today and share the videos on your social network. You are listening now to A Word of Faith with Bishop Macedo.
Hello, my dear listeners. May God bless all of you who believe in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. And we are back from the Holy Land, and we are here with this program for you. And we want to pass on to you the word in which God has been passing on to us, what has been established as a life according to God's will. Because many are those who say they believe in God. Everybody says they believe in God. The Bible says that even the demons believe in Jesus. But there is a great difference among those who believe and those who believe halfway, or so. And I would like for you to observe with me the fact about this man by the name of Abraham. When we speak of Abraham, when I personally speak and think about Abraham's life and his story, when I think about all his journey with God, I can imagine what a man with character and integrity and of his word that made of him the chosen of God. He was chosen of God. God chose him by his finger, because Abraham was a man whose character pleased God. But for you to understand, just look at how he had the establishment of his family. He, for example, was married with Sarah, and Sarah was a barren woman. Abraham must have married Sarah at the age of 30, 40 years of age. So Abraham was married with Sarah for about 40 years, let's say. And Abraham, on that time, he could have had another woman to bring forth children, because he needed children. It was a matter of survival. He should have a family in order to survive, although in that great need of having children in order to develop his life, Abraham did not give up his love, his unconditional love towards Sarah. He maintained his woman and one woman and loved her for all his life, even knowing that she was a barren woman. And when God chose him, when he was at the age of 75, Abraham then, when he heard God's voice, immediately he gave ears. He believed in it. He believed in God's voice and obeyed. So we see then that God chooses people that has character. Because people, for example, they can be a sinner. Abraham was a sinner, just like anybody else, just like us. But Abraham, he had something that made him distinguished, made him different from the other men. He was a sinner, but he had character. He had character. And that's what is strong. You can verify that with me. When you find a person, for example, they call themselves Christian, whether pastor, bishop, pastor's wife, bishop's wife, any kind of official of the church, or they say they believe in God, or they are faithful to God, or whatever, but they lack, they are not of their word, they are not of their word, they don't keep their word, so this person has no good character. They may call themselves of God, but even though I do not believe that they are of God, because when God, he calls someone, he calls this person because they have character, even though they are sinners. Sometimes a person is a sinner because they do not know the truth. So they do walk in sin, but they are a person of character. They love the truth. They love what is right. They are hungry and thirst of justice. So this person is separated to God, like Abraham. And we can read this, for example, in the Bible that we chose to read about Abraham's integrity. So look at what it says in Genesis 13, verse 8 and 9. It says, "So Abram said to Lot, please, let there be no strife between you and me, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brethren. Is not the whole land before you? Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I'll go to the right. Or if you go to the right, then I'll go to the left." So we can read here and see that Abraham, he was responsible for Lot. Abraham was the chief, the boss, and Lot was under Abraham's care. Lot was under Abraham's care, under Abraham's shadow. So Abraham was protecting Lot, keeping Lot. But then it came to a point in which both of them were very rich, and the land in which they possessed or lived was not being able to carry or to handle them. So there was a strife, there was an argument between the herdsmen of Abraham and Lot's men. So then Abraham, to remove or to stop that situation in good terms, he told Lot, "Lot, you're rich, you are blessed, thanks be to God. So we cannot be together anymore because we are many. And I don't want to have strife because we are brethren. So do me a favor, choose where you want to go, and I'll go in the opposite direction." So Abraham was so much with integrity, or sought to be righteous and just, that he, who had the right to choose where he wanted to go, where he could go, he gave to Lot the right. And how come he did that? Was because he was a fool? No. Was because Abraham, he had an intimacy, he had a communion with God, and he was God's friend. And he knew that if they went, or if he went to the right, he would be blessed. If he went to the left, he would be blessed. So it doesn't matter the difference. If he goes 1 or 2, he would be blessed, whatever choice he made. And when a person has or are of their word and honor their word, it is a person who is righteous. It is because they absorbed God's character. Because God is of His word. When God said, leave your land, and Abraham left because he believed. And you know why he believed? Because he knew the value of a word. For Abraham was also a man of word. So he gave God credit to his word. So when a person has character and they honor their word, so they can be whoever they want. But if they don't keep their word, if they don't keep their word that they say, especially with the husband or the wife, so then it is hard for such person to continue walk with God, because God, He needs this kind of character in order to walk with Him. All of us, we have mistakes. All of us, we are humans. But God, He does not tolerate a person with a bad character, with a mind of wickedness, with selfish ambition. No. Abraham, he tested. Abraham proved to himself and to Lot and to his history about his character. By saying, Lot, choose. If you go north, I'll go south. If you go south, I'll go north. No problem. With no questions asked. And Lot, taking advantage of that opportunity, he looked at the Jordans. He looked at the fields which were beautiful, the plain of Jordan, said, I'll choose the plains of Jordan. And Abraham then said, okay, I'll go the opposite way, which is the desert. So Abraham decided to go to the desert, and Lot went to the plains of Jordan, and he went according to what his eyes saw. And who trusts in God, believe and trusts, and do not be anxious, because they know that God is the owner of their life. And this was how Abraham was. So, my dear listener, we learn with the character of Abraham how God, He chooses and how He blesses those who are His chosen. And that's the reason why so many people, they are inside of the churches. They are inside of the churches. And their lives does not develop. Their lives is stuck. It is stuck like in the mud. And why? Because they are people who do not hear the word, are people who they say one thing today and tomorrow they have another word, and are always changing their word, and they do not have a character. And this is a problem. It's worse and terrible to those who try to walk with God. So if you want to be a person who is blessed, God Himself says, look to Abraham and to Sarah. So if we want to reach the benefits in which Abraham have reached, and to have God's blessings, we must be of our word. We must honor our word, because the word to God is extremely important, because He works. God works with words. Just like the teacher works with words, right? Also, God, He works with words. So God honors His word. He says, I zeal, I keep my words, so that none of the promises be in vain. So this is the principle, beginning of faith. I remember my father. He was not converted yet in the beginning. In the end of his life, yes, but he wasn't converted. But even though he had his ways of being, he would drink. He never got drunk. He would smoke, but wasn't in addiction. But he was a man of his word. He actually maintained his word, loved to keep the truth. So this kind of person that honors and that maintains their own word, they are of their own word, are the kind of people that pleases God. And if you are a person that you are Christian, but you do not honor your own word, you do not honor your own word, you are not of your own word, so then you are a person that does not have a good character, and you know it. So then you are skiing in your faith. You believe in God, apparently, but when a person truly believes in God, they are of their word. Back in the days, in my time, in the time of my father, I remember, and I learned this, to honor my word. Yes, yes, and no, no. Jesus said, yes, yes or no. Whatever is in between is of the devil. So when they honor their word, when they keep and they make their word to prevail in their lives, so then this person has everything to be like Abraham, because Abraham, he was of his word. And then in this choice, Abraham, he didn't even need, or did not even, because Lot, he was just alone. Lot is like that kind of person that Abraham was carrying with, just following, just because of the word from his father. He kept his word to his father, but they could not stay together because of the numbers of animals that was occupying the land, and the land could not support both of them. So then Abraham made Lot to choose, and if he wanted to go to the right, then Abraham would go to the left. If he was going to go left, Abraham would go right. So then we know that this profile of a character is what pleases God, my dear listener. This is what pleases God. It doesn't matter. Jesus once, he said in a discussion, he says, oh, you say that you heal the sick, you say that you do miracles and that, but know that not all that calls me Lord, Lord will inherit the kingdom of heaven, but those who does my will, those who does the will of my Father. So whoever does the will of the Father are the ones who keep his words and who keep their words in their commitments. They are of their word socially, in business. In their relationship, they are also of their word. In their marriage. So then these who keep their words are blessed, because God, he honors those who honor their own word and his words. Thanks be to God.
I know that your eyes are always watching over me, and your ears are always eager to hear my prayer, even if I may cry. I know that you are by my side. When you are near me, I'm never lonely. Just as promised, you never changed. God of Abraham, God of promise, you swore by yourself to change my life. I know I trust in you. Lord, make your words be real in me. I know that your eyes are always watching over me. And your ears are always eager to hear my prayer, even if I may cry. I know that you